back to the channel. Yeah, Shay Trav, little Trav down there. And I'm sure you can tell by the title, we are doing a mukbang.
So we got some fish, macaroni and cheese, red beans and rice, cornbread, charbroiled oysters, and some garlic bread. Also, as you've seen in the title, we changed our last name.
Yes.
We legally changed our name. And so when we first changed our last name, we're like, should we do a YouTube video? I was like, that was a lot of hot sauce.
Y'all seen that show on Netflix, High on the Hog? The lady said you can't have fish without hot sauce. Yeah, no. And that's real. You can't have fish without hot sauce.
I use ketchup. But anyways, so and so when we first changed our last name, Trey was like, do you think we should do a YouTube video? And I was like, I don't know if they'll think it's interesting. So I called the Social Security office and I told the lady, I was like, yeah, you know, what do I need to do to get my son's last name changed legally, their Social Security card? And she's like, oh, you changed it, but you got a divorce? And I was like, no, we have a family last name change. And she's like, a family last name change? What? You're Jones and he's Wallace, so you're gonna do Jones Wallace? Yo, lady insulted me so bad. And so I was like, whoa, I was not prepared for this.
She thought she put her last name, I put my last name together, and then boom, we formed a new last name. She was just trying to, you know, just basically joking about us changing our last name. And so we were like, you know what, let's address this. Let's go ahead and tell people why we changed our last name.
First, let's just talk about how it all got started. Like, where did this come about?
This came about like years ago, probably like over 10 years ago.
Really?
One, the last name I had, Williams, was just so common. And if I recall correctly, I think like on the 2010 census, Williams was like the #1 or #2 most popular name among African Americans.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. As many of you guys probably already know, a lot of our surnames or last names come from slavery, right? Let's take it for granted that people know the history of our last names, but our last names originate in slavery. Since we lost our language, we lost our ability to name ourselves. You know, because a lot of our original names are based out of our language, which is no longer, right? So we took on the names of those slave owners.
And I remember when, I think you were the first person that ever broke this down to me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they don't teach it in school, and I guess you would have to do like internet research. You told me all about this, and I was like, whoa.
Right. I mean, because like, think about it, you know what I mean? Like, can you go to Africa and really spot out an African with a last name Williams? William, as we know, is an English name, and so it's of English origin, and so I'm an African with an English last name.
Yeah.
And so I wanted a last name that represented my culture and my origin, and something that I can identify with and that my future generations can identify with, that can separate us, and identify us as being of one family. And so I searched like a bunch of African names. That's how it all started. Like,
we bought books. We would stay up late looking for names. We would make stuff up.
Right. We tried to make up names. The joke just didn't sound right. And then, so I was just like, after looking for so many names, like none of them just really felt right.
Look, I'm hungry for real, so excuse me.
You know what I'm saying? Like none of them felt right, none of them stuck. And then I was like, man, I really don't even know, because I can pick any African last name, but I don't really know if I'm from that tribe and I'm taking somebody else's name, you know what I'm saying?
So that was something that we kind of had to deal with too. Like, should we take a name that's already pretty popular in Africa?
Of like West Africa, so I just take any West African name and make that our last name. Yeah. But then I'm like, I feel like I'm taking somebody else's culture because that's really not my culture anymore.
Again, just like with Williams.
Right. So I feel like, okay, now I'm taking somebody else's culture. I've been separated and so far removed from that culture, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, I feel like I'll be still in their last name. So like us changing our last names, there was such a significant change to people that they're like, oh, why would you do something like that? That's weird. That's not right.
Now our family was totally understanding. I mean, they were kind of like, oh, that's interesting. And so they actually gave us time to explain. And once we explained, they were like, oh, definitely, I understand that.
This is how I ended up coming up with the last name. And I was just like, this is when I was in law school, and I was just like in bed one day contemplating it. And like,
you had time to be in bed in law school?
This was late at night, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting a lot of energy and time into coming up with this last name. Oh, how does it taste with the lemon?
I don't know. Let's see. You want to bite? Just try it. Have you ever tried an oyster?
Yeah, it tastes like dirt.
No, that's the first. Okay, fried oysters taste like dirt, not charbroiled.
First time tasting the oyster, I really don't want to regret this.
Oh. Just put the whole thing in. No, don't hold your nose. You want to taste the flavor. Isn't that good?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The flavors taste amazing.
I know.
I just don't like the texture of the oyster.
Wait, what you mean? Like what's the
like it tastes like a soft mussel.
A soft mussel. You had a mussel before?
I mean that's what it feels like. It feels like a soft mussel almost. You know?
I don't get that.
No. Flavor, man, like the char of the
it made me want to go. Hey.
Name came to me like a dream, and like I heard this name, and it said, "Ooh," and I was like, "Whoa, that resonates."
Whoa.
So I started looking up the name.
Yeah.
To see who else has his name. Couldn't find it anywhere in my Google search.
No.
Then I started finding the name has.
Excuse me.
Okay.
So you know how some people get a little alcohol in them and they get lit? That's me with food.
Getting drunk on his food. So then the name has a double meaning. It has a spiritual meaning, right? And then it has a cultural meaning. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was looking for in a name. I want something that had a spiritual meaning and a cultural meaning. The whole idea is for my generation from now to be able to look up at a picture of me on a wall, for instance, and of Grandma Shay, and be like, my great-great-great-granddad and my great-great-great-grandma Shay gave us this last name. They can point to who gave them that last name. Right now, I couldn't tell you where Williams comes from. I just know it originates in slavery. Look, ask yourself, do you know who gave you your last name?
Yeah, like who started it?
Who started it?
Yeah.
Ask yourself that. And that this is not a campaign for you to change your last name. You know, you love your last name. If you love, I'm not telling you to change your last name. I'm just telling you.
If you want to change your last name, he's an attorney, and he takes cashier's checks. Hit us up.
We can work out a deal. But anyway, another thing too is that the name hopefully will remind them of the spiritual beliefs of their grandparents, us.
Right.
You know, talking about us.
So, babe, what does the name mean?
All right.
I usually just let him break it down. He plays an integral part in all of this. Oh, we got a little baby coming. He sees the juice.
Drum roll, please. Boom. The last name is Desaya. Desaya.
So, before we tell y'all how to spell it, how do you think you spell the name? Because people have already been mispronouncing it.
Right.
This one man was like, "Desay." I didn't even try to correct him.
I speak to Miss Desay.
Yeah, I just left it alone. I just talked. I was like, no, sir, I'm not trying to correct people.
Right. So the name, like I said, has two meanings: spiritual one and a cultural one. So Desai spiritually means actually a follower of the Messiah, right? Or from the Messiah. And then culturally, Saya means black. So it literally means originated from the black. So it's kind of like a black follower of the Messiah. You know, whenever you put the two meanings together. So that's the name meaning, man. It's the meaning of the name.
That's it.
So yeah, Desaya. We are the Desayas.
Yeah, so we like names that mean something, and this one definitely means a lot to us.
Right.
10 years in the making.
And there you have it.
That's our last name.
That's our last name.
Yay! Y'all don't know how long we've been in this process. For it to finally come out, and we're still in the process of getting things changed over, but it's so nice that we got the name changed. Right. Something we've been working on for forever.
Right. Now we feel so good that we came up with our own last names. We named ourselves. Now we have a new last name and we're starting something new.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, share the video. We always say share the video, but this one I specifically say please share it because I feel like it can help people open up their minds, not to be so close-minded if somebody tells you to change anything about themselves. Like, share the video and enlighten someone.
Right, absolutely. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. Follow us on the gram at Shay and Trav.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, stay tuned for the next video.
Y'all want to say bye to baby Travis?
He over there waving, y'all. Come on, big boy. Let's tell him bye.
He's so cute.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Give him a smile. Oh, he said I love you.
He said he love y'all.
Uh-oh.